The show is running at the Beverly Hills Playhouse. It'll be a fun experience for all of us. I'm excited about it because it's uh, it has a reputation to it. It just sounds great. The Beverly Hills Playhouse. And it's been Alan Barton, who runs the theater, told us that it's a 100-year-old building. I don't know I don't know, I should look it up, but I don't know how long it's been there. But you go in there and it's a very intimate space. And it's a very, I think it's going to be a great place for us. It has a lot of history to it, and they must see it there because that's the only place it's going to be this year. I think people must come to get on the Bob's train and find out what it's about. I always get emails around the early fall or late summer about where's the show going to be this year. It's wonderful, and it's kind of like, so I'm going to do it again this year, I guess. I don't know if I'll ever stop. Hi, my name is Rob Elk. I play the character Bob Finhead in Bob's Holiday Office Party. So if you want to learn a little bit more about me or this production, watch this video. Well, I think the thing about the play is that it's kind of about a small town. I mean, it's all about a small town and the community and the characters, and they all, even though they're different characters and they kind of have their arguments, there's a real sense of community to the town, and that's part of the arc of the show. But I would hear people talk about it afterwards. Whether people are from even the East Coast or the West Coast, they can relate to these small town characters. And I even had a friend who was a director who is from New York City, and there was something he said about those people that's just kind of a heartwarming story about how they feel about each other. And hopefully we're trying to get that apart, especially in these times, as character Joe says, in these times of pain and suffering, we can get together and have a sense of community. So that's kind of the arc of it. It's kind of a little bit of It's a Wonderful Life, that kind of a positive story. It's all the mayhem and the spilled drinks and the cheese balls. Story arc is that Bob Finhead is a frustrated insurance agent. He really wants to be something bigger. He has this dream to be an inventor because he wants to change the world with his inventions, even though his inventions are pretty harebrained. And he wants to get out of town, and he wants to go to this inventing college in the big city of Des Moines, Iowa. And so his best friend, Sheriff Joe, doesn't want him to leave town because he's afraid of change. He doesn't want any change. He wants everything to stay the way it is. So that's kind of the arc. And Bob is having an affair with the mayor's wife, Margie Mincer, and so he's trying to figure that relationship out. And Mayor Roy, he has, without tipping it too much, he has some secrets in his life. So he doesn't, the relationship is kind of between he and his wife is very tenuous. And Bob is frustrated that Margie won't just be with him. And so Bob just kind of wants to get out of town. And the other characters that are in town that come to the party are LaDonna and Lavoris Johnson. They're the richest farmers in the county. They're these twin single spinster, I guess is the word to use, farmers that are very conservative. And they come, and then another character that shows up is Marty. He's the town handyman, and he's kind of a stoner character. And Then we have a visit from Carol, who's the minister's wife. She comes in to drop off some napkins, and she announces that she's going to go to the Lutheran talent show, or the Lutheran church, and she's going to sing a song at the talent show. So we all get her to sing a song, and she's she's very shy, and that turns into a very kind of it's a very entertaining moment in the show when she sings a song. And then the other character that comes in at the beginning of the play is Elwyn Bewey, who was a person that they grew up in the town, and for some reason didn't get along with everybody, and they picked on him, and they pretty much bullied him, and he got out of town and became very successful. And he's a multimillionaire, and he's coming back to town to visit, and he wants to he has some agenda. It comes clear why he's in town, but he comes back, and that brings up a lot of memories and uncovers a lot of old wounds. And so he has to work through that, and we all have to work through that. And then our last character that comes into the play is Brandy, who's how do I say that? She's the woman in town that's always hanging out at the bar that she always wants Sheriff Joe to put her in the handcuffs and take her down to and he says later, we'll talk about that later. And so she brings a little bit of spice to the party. So the party starts out very, very orderly and prim and proper, and by the end of the show, it's everything's come undone. There's a lot of drinks spilled and cheese balls on the floor, and a lot of secrets revealed. Well, we want them to have a great time. In the philosophical thing about theater, we want them to forget the troubles from the past and just enjoy themselves for the hour and a half or hour and 45 minutes of Bob's. So it's just a very silly show. I think I just get people that react to the show in such a nice way, and it's always fun to hear that. So I hope that they can get that out of it. I mean, it's a little bit outrageous. I mean, people come in and I'm always concerned that people might, well, not that they're going to get offended, but if they, we make fun of a lot of things, and it can get really, I call it it's like a play version of The Hangover or something like that. It's kind of an R-rated play. But 2 weeks ago, I went to see a friend do stand-up comedy, and there was a woman that I was talking to afterwards, and she was looking at him. She goes, "You look familiar. What have you done?" And I really, since COVID, I haven't been doing too much performing. And I said, "Well, I don't know. I do comedy here and there." And she goes, "Do you do a play?" And I said, "Well, yeah, I'm getting ready to do a play, Bob's Holiday Office Party." And she goes, "You're Bob. Oh, you're Bob. Oh my God, I love that show." And she started telling everybody around the lobby area about our show. And she had come to see it with her brother had brought her to see it. And then she's bringing more people. And that's we find that happens with people that it's just kind of infectious, and then people come back year after year. And we'd really, I started noticing that maybe 10 years ago when I was over at the Hudson Theater, which is a small theater. And I went out to the lobby, and there were all these people standing there, and they were saying, "Oh, hi, it's so good to see you. This show is part of our holiday tradition." And I kind of heard that, but that's when it really started to hit me that people come back to see the show year after year. And in the past, we've had groups rent a bus, and come in a party bus. We've had people dress up sometimes they dress up in characters from the show, or they'll wear, those crazy Christmas sweaters. And so they really get into that. And it's just kind of, it's really, really wonderful to see that. And we did an event where, and we're going to do that this year, where we had a audience talk back, where we came out and talked to the audience after the show on a Saturday night. And I think it was Melissa who started asking people, she goes, I've got a question. How many people have seen this show for the first time? And there was a few people that raised their hand. Now, how many have seen it 2 times? And then a couple other people. And how many have seen it more than 4 times? And then more people raised their hand. And how many people have seen it like 8 times? And then like the whole crowd had like raised their hands. And I was amazed that people come, well, not amazed, but just really honored that people come back to see this time after time. Well, my name is Rob Elk, and I play Bob Finhead in Bob's Holiday Office Party. And the show is running at the Beverly Hills Playhouse, running Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So that's 9 shows only at the Beverly Hills Playhouse. And you can go to www.bobsofficeparty.com for tickets.